We're back with Shelley Bacon and Todd Stafford of Northern Cables in Brockville and Prescott. Aluminum, copper, vinyl, PVC sheathing, steel are all big components of your products. We've heard so much about the tariffs of late. How have they affected your business? And what are your thoughts moving forward on that? Let's start with you, Shelley.
So our business is mostly made up of three main components: aluminum, copper, and plastics. And we purchase the majority of our plastics in the United States. We buy a little over 50% of our copper in the United States, and we buy some of our aluminum in the US. Because of the recent tariffs that you mentioned, Ves, we have learned in the last 6 weeks that this aluminum tariff affects our suppliers in the United States to their inability to purchase Canadian aluminum, to fabricate it into roll strip, and to return it back to us in Canada. In fact, we received some double tariffs, if you will, on some of those ingredients. So we've had to make choices in terms of where we source that. There are some other minor tariffs that are hitting us through second and third parties, which we're still learning about. But for the most part, we've been fortunate in the products that we make and the materials that we purchase that we've been able to avoid the majority of the tariffs so far, as stated.
Shelley, when you talk about double tariffs, is that 25% and 25% or some smaller number?
Well, they don't really spell it out on the documentation like that to us, Ves, but we think it is 25 and 25. We think that's what we're getting hit with. But again, we're still discussing with some of our tariff lawyers about what the final number is. So it's still early in the game for us as manufacturers to fully understand it.
But so far, you seem to have weathered the storm. Thank goodness. Todd, can I ask you, when you joined the company, when you started the company, how many employees did you have?
Well, originally the group started was 7 people who were going to be the owners and operators.
Seven people.
There was never a plan to have employees. So
Gotcha.
that was a little naive at the time. That's not the way our industry works.
And how many employees do you have today?
We're at about 320 right now.
320, my goodness. And what do you see for the future? Do you see continued growth?
Well, we have plans. We're actually going to build a 4th facility here in the next couple of years. We bought the land, and we're making plans right now.
Isn't that tremendous? Now, even despite the tariffs, even despite the uncertainty, you're moving forward. So obviously, the market wants your products. The market needs your products, and it's just the degree of which the expansion is required, I presume. Shelley, can I ask, what would you see as the ultimate solution to the tariff problem? What would be the best way to handle tariffs from a Canadian perspective?
That's a good question, Ves. Frankly, we know the United States is not self-sufficient in both aluminum and steel, two of the primary building blocks for any kind of a labor that produces products for the world. And so as a result of that, I think we need to have cooler heads behind closed doors, get together and say, look, we need to do something about this. Certainly, our leaders, when they speak openly about tariffs and counter tariffs and bring up things like orange juice and ladies' clothing, that does not really speak to what a lot of us Canadians work at. We really need cooler heads to prevail. I would have thought that a more forward approach would have been to put Fortress North America on the map and to try and protect all of North America as opposed to north versus south. We need a very comprehensive approach going forward here.
What a wise observation. So I sense then that counter tariffs in your mind really aren't the way to go.
No, no one wins in these counter tariffs. So let's face it, we're all competing in a global market. We have a lot of products that enter Canada now that come in tariff-free, that are made in other countries, that don't have to purchase raw materials at world prices like we do. We have to pay world prices here. We have no other alternative but to purchase what the Comex is, or the London Metals Exchange is, or the Midwest Premium. We have no other choice here. So it's not fair to us domestic manufacturers to be sort of saddled with that price while other material can be dumped into Canada.
Great observations. Hold that thought. We'll be right back after the break.